Horse rescue isn't something most people think about every day, but organizations across the country are working to save animals from neglect, abandonment, and even slaughter. One of those organizations is Sweet Liberty Ranch and Rescue, where founder Sherry Barks has helped rescue dozens of horses since 2021. I visited the ranch to learn how it all began and what it takes to rehabilitate horses that many people have given up on. So slow down for this conversation to learn more.
My name's Sherry Barks. I'm the owner of one of the owners. My husband and I both own this property and started the rescue in 2021. It was shortly after that we got our first horse, my first horse. Her name was Sabrina. A few years later, we did rebreed her to another Morgan stud that we did get Libby. Her registered name is actually Sabrina Sweet Liberty, and that's where we get the name Sweet Liberty Ranch. Then once we started the rescue, we just tacked on the rescue part of it, so it's Sweet Liberty Ranch and Rescue.
So the rescue started in 2021, right? And what led to that?
Really, just I never really believed about horses being shipped to slaughter and stuff like that. And once I really found out how many horses that get shipped for no reason, it kind of hurt. So, in the first year, I think we got out probably 25 horses out of the kill pen. Some of them, were older horses that just needed to be put out to pasture for a while, or companion horses that, still had a lot of life left, but couldn't be ridden anymore. So that's kind of the reasoning behind starting it was, there's so many groups on Facebook now that are showing all these horses that are being killed, being sent to the borders. It's illegal to do it in the United States now, but they can still be shipped out of the country to Canada and Mexico to be slaughtered.
How do you find the horses?
The different groups on Facebook, like some of them. This guy came from, actually all three of these guys came from Texas. But I pulled out of Texas, I pulled out of kill pen in Oklahoma. I've pulled out of a kill pen in northern Louisiana, Arkansas. But there's, there's like 3 kill pens in Texas, at least 3. There's 2 or 3 in Oklahoma. There's 1 in Tennessee. One that I know of in Tennessee. I know there's at least 1 in Michigan, 1 in Wisconsin, which those 2 actually are shipping to Canada, and I think the others are actually shipping to Mexico. So it just depends on, and Mexico is closed right now, so they can't be shipped. Problem is, they're sitting in a kill pen. So these horses are all put together in one pen fighting over hay and water. They're smart horses, and you can train them to do a lot of stuff. One of the babies that we got out of here, I had a girl from Michigan that has now adopted 2 horses, and the last one they adopted, it was actually her daughter, so she's, I think, 8 or 10 years old. And he was only a yearling. I mean, not even a yearling yet. And she's been working with him with the help of her mom and another trainer, and they taught this horse how to lay down on command. So they teach him to lay down, and she can get on him that way, or do, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with horses. Mm-hmm. And they're therapeutic, very therapeutic for like autistic kids, mm-hmm. or veterans. I think people really know how the kill pens are getting the horses. A lot of times when they are taking their horses to an auction, even the one in Strawtown. It used to be a huge place where kill buyers took horses, would get horses. I don't know that it is, they might only get a few from there anymore, just because the horses are going for so much more that are going through there. So it just depends on the kind of horses that are coming in, I guess.
When you say kill buyers, people go in there just to
buy them for kill pens. They buy them for, $100 and then sell them to a kill pen for
Okay, I see.
a little more than that.
What would you say, has your mission here evolved since you opened it in 2021?
No, not really. I mean, it's still just trying to get horses out of the kill pen and rehabilitate them. I mean, a lot of these horses, when they come in, they're like super, super thin. We've had a couple that have been on death's door that we've brought back. I've lost a few. I mean, if there's nothing we can do, we just have to put them down and let them go. But I mean, I don't think it's fair for a horse to, even that ride over there is horrible. I mean, no water, no food, and they're in a trailer full of other horses that if they go down, they're going to get trampled and killed before they get there, but they're going to suffer in the process. So I just don't think it's right. Generally, my husband and I together will go through, or I will go through and look at the horses and see. What I try to do is I try to get at least 1 or 2 pregnant mares, just because I know, baby's innocent in this. Probably the horse is too, but I mean, that's 2 lives that you can save for one. Try and get 2 or 3 of the pregnant mares. Last year we did get 2, but one of them lost the baby at the kill pen before we got her here. The other one did have the baby, and that was actually the one that I was telling you that he's been adopted now, and they've trained him to lay down on command. So I mean, these horses are still good, and there's nothing wrong with them that they deserve being thrown in there like that. So generally, once we pick out 1 or 2 that we want to get, I generally try and get 2 at a time. Sometimes it doesn't work out, so we just get 1. So we just have to message or call the kill pen and put a deposit down on them. Then we have to arrange for some kind of transport to get them here. So depending on where it's at, some of the pens actually have a transporter that works for them that will transport the horse along some path. So like the last couple we've gotten out of, just ended up having to pick up like in Ohio, or one of them we picked up in Anderson. I don't think I could take it if I had to actually go to the kill pen and pick them up myself.
All the horses that you get, do they all end up going up for adoption, or do you kind of decide?
Generally, yes, they do. We try and get ones that we know we can save and rehabilitate to be able to find homes. Just because I'm not a sanctuary, I don't have enough space for ones that are going to have to live here. I mean, there may be ones that are only companion horses or something like that, but we try and rehome all of them.
How do you ensure that they're going to a safe environment?
We do have an application, which can be found on our website. And you have to have references. So there's a process for the adoption. Fill out the application. We need pictures of where they're going to be. We need a vet and a farrier for reference. Generally 2 or 3 other people for references, so that we know the people that are adopting the horse actually take care of their animals. And then once all that stuff is verified and they're approved, then they can come see the horses and see what we have available. We do ask on the application for the horse's name that they're interested in, and they may or may not have one at that point. And then we have a contract that is signed before the horse leaves, that if for some reason they can't be taken care of, or for some reason, for any reason, you don't want the horse anymore, it comes back to the rescue. It cannot be sold. It cannot be taken to an auction.
Do you determine if people follow that?
Every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months, you have to send in and update pictures of the horses and let us know that the horses are still okay and you still have them and are doing good. For the most part, we get some here and there. There are a few horses that I would like to find out where they ended up. I know there's a couple of them that I've gotten and adopted out that have passed on. I mean, they were already older horses or something was wrong, so it happens. But there are probably a couple of horses that I've lost contact with. We've had people actually call us and say, we can't take care of this horse anymore, so please come get it.
Yeah.
And we do.
How do you ensure that they're ready for adoption?
Well, I mean, the main focus when we first get them is letting them settle in and making sure they're getting the proper nutrition that they need. Because, like I said, a lot of them are very skinny, have not been fed correctly for a while. The white horse there and the mare that was inside had never had grain. So when we tried feeding them grain, it just got ignored for probably 4 or 5 days. What I ended up having to do was I had some what's called hydration hay. So it's like a dried hay that we wet down. So I took some of that hay and wet it down and put it in a bucket and then mixed grain into it. And after probably a couple of weeks of doing that, they started eating grain on their own without that stuff, and decided they really liked it. So now they come in for their food and stuff. We had one, I think one of the first ones that we got that were unhandled was we had 2 of them. It was 2 years ago, and we ended up naming them Sunny and Cher. Sunny was a Palomino mare that was unhandled and pregnant. Cher was supposedly pregnant, but figured out that she wasn't pregnant. They'd just taken a baby off of her when they took her to the kill pen. She was probably one of the first ones that I really started working with and actually made a connection with. I mean, I almost didn't want to rehome her. I wanted to keep her. But she found a really good home with somebody that we had gotten her so that we could, we got her halter broke before she left. We didn't try putting a saddle on her or anything like that. I mean, she wasn't to that point yet, but she found a really good home where the girl's working with her and has at this point gotten her broke to ride, so she's doing really well. We always have volunteer opportunities. There's always stuff. Most of the stuff that we do, I get up, I also work a full-time job. So I generally get up at 3 in the morning to go out and feed the new guys that need to be fed. They have to be fed twice a day just because they haven't had the nutrition they needed. And then the one mare that was bred that we knew was going to have a baby, didn't have the nutrition she needed yet. So I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and feed these guys. And then most of the opportunity for volunteers would be in the evening. We do all of our chores, checking the water tanks, feeding everybody. We got to, with these guys being the way they are right now, we have to clean out the barn and clean out that stall for the mom and baby every night, and get water, get hay to everybody. Sometimes, like, we have to replace the big round bales, dump the water tanks and refill them because they're hot or low, or clean them out. So there's always stuff to do. Weekends would be another good time for volunteers, because we could actually do some of the extra stuff that needs to be done, like cleaning the buckets and cleaning the extra stalls that need to be cleaned out, or doing the pastures. We have to break out the pastures every now and then and cut those down so that they're not getting buried by grass or weeds. So usually nights and weekends would be the best time for our volunteers. A lot of times it's done by fundraisers. We do have a couple of companies that have helped out with some funding. Caesars, Herrera's Casino, has donated to us pretty substantial amount. We'll get sponsors for when we do our events to help cover some stuff. So it just depends on, a lot of the money comes out of my pocket or my husband's pocket. But we do the fundraisers, and we do accept donations for help.
Do you feel like you've noticed any changes in the need for animal rescues?
Absolutely not. We need more rescues. The ones that we have are like full, overflowing with animals. I have a gal that I talked to, another rescue in Arkansas, that I'm good friends with, and she actually did horses and dogs and cats. And she had, at one time, would have 50 horses and 100 and some dogs, and at least that, and cats. And then they have to clean out the kennels every day. And so the ones we have are absolutely overpacked.
How many horses do you currently have?
Right now, with the baby that was just born, we have 14.
Do you know how many had over the years?
I stopped counting at 40, but we're probably pretty close to 50 or 60 by now.
Are there any challenges?
Right now, I think our biggest challenge is fencing. We've got a lot of fencing that needs to be replaced, and it's probably going to be $10,000 or so to replace all of this fencing. We would like to actually fence off create a couple of bigger pastures, so that we could let horses out to graze and things like that. But again, funding's the biggest issue.
How much land do you have right now?
We have about 18.5 acres total. Some of that, but like this one that's right behind here, is just a pasture that we let the horses, because it's still fenced, let the horses out to graze in. And then on the other side of this fence out here is our hay pasture. There's a big portion of that we would like to fence off, so that we can let some of those guys over there back into it to just graze and have more pasture for them to graze with.
Is there like a main message that you want people to know?
Main message is stop all of the unnecessary breeding. There are so many animals that are being dumped daily, to get the population of animals under control before we start breeding them again.
Thank you for listening to this episode. As always, you can find more stories just like this one on thehometownheadlines.com. Stay kind, stay connected, and keep looking for good.